Hello and welcome. This is a bit of an odd video, I must admit. If you've been following the channel for the years I've been doing this, you probably would have worked out by now that I'm a huge Zelda fan. Ocarina of Time is my favourite game ever. It's my favourite Zelda game too. And anything sort of Zelda based or Link based, I'm on it. That's it. And I've been playing the new Breath of the Wild game on the Wii U, of course, because although you get slightly better resolution on the Switch, I wasn't prepared to sort of sink £350 on a Switch for that improvement. I say improvement, it suffers the same slowdown as the Wii. And when I say the same, the slowdown in frames per second drops to about 20. It sort of locks it down to 20 if it starts to go below 30, and that's on both Wii U and Switch versions. I don't want to get into a debate about which is better or anything like that, but I've seen plenty of videos. I'll probably put the link in the description of people's Switches going bonkers. I've played Breath of the Wild on Wii U with no problems in my surround sound and everything like that for probably about 20-30 hours now. Not a single problem. No crashes, it's solid. I can't fault it, and it looks incredible. Before I go into my review, I thought I'd just give you some tips, if you even call them that. There are a few things that you can unlock in the game, Epona being one of them. To get Epona, you need this amiibo. I got this a while ago, two or 3 years ago, I think, as just because I wanted an amiibo of Link, and I've used it a few times in Smash Brothers, and all you do, just put it on the Wii U controller, remote thing, or even on the Switch, and it will unlock Epona. So I would personally do that at stable, because if she dies, don't come back, I don't think. So register at the stable, and then if she does die, then you can just bring her back. So that's how you get Epona. And then the Wolf or Wolf Link, you'll need this one, which came in the limited edition Twilight Princess set, or I think you can actually buy it separately too. So you just do the same, and then you get Wolf Link. It's really good. He'll fetch items, attack enemies, but sometimes he won't be allowed into villages. He'll just completely disappear, and then you have to do that again, and that can be a bit of a pain if you're using the Wii U Pro controller like I do. Whereas Epona is always where you left her, and you can always just get her. You don't need to keep using the amiibo. So I just thought I'd explain those things. Right, let's get on to the review. But anyway, back to what this video is about. This is my review of the hardback limited edition guide for Breath of the Wild. It is a huge game. I think the world map is 1.5 times larger than Skyrim, or probably even bigger, it's bigger than GTA 5. I mean, it's the biggest game world I've ever been part of, ever. And from the onset, it became very apparent that I was going to need some kind of guide, and I would have liked some kind of guide rather than watching sort of YouTube videos, things like that. So I bought this one. I like my guides. I'll compare it to the Fallout 4 guide, made by a different company though. This one is Primer, and I always prefer Primer over Piggyback, and unfortunately this one's Piggyback. However, this guide will set you back, I think, £24–25. The front cover, the whole cover is lovely. I would have liked a cover protector for that price. I think it's quite a lot of money still, just for a guide. £15 would have been okay, but for 25 you want a cover, and you want a page keeper too, I would have thought. Anyway, you've got the what it is on the spine, and you've got this lovely artwork, and it really is just a huge map. It's beautiful artwork. Now, this guide will set you back pretty much 368 pages or so. So it's not at 400 pages. It's not like the Skyrim that was like 500, 600 pages. So it's not even 400 pages. But it does have an awful lot of content in here. It comes with a map too, huge map, which is very useful. This is sort of like a spoiler free as well, but this is the map. This is the first time I've actually opened it because I didn't want to sort of spoil it for myself, but I'll open it for you guys. So there we go. That is the map. It just doesn't even fit on the camera. I think they said that this Great Plateau, this little piece here where you start off, that's actually bigger than the whole of Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, you name it. That's ridiculous. If that little piece there is bigger than those games, then you've got Central Tower region, you've got Death Mountain, you've got the Gerudo Tower, you've got the Zorons. I mean, you know, it's just a huge map there. So it's a huge navigation map, and you unlock different regions once you sort of go up the towers, and then on the back you've got a full flat map, which shows you it's numbered, some of the things you have to do, the completionist sort of map, and it's more detailed. It shows you some of the puzzles and things that you have to do, so it's absolutely huge and a very welcome addition. So there you go. So the map is awesome. Would have liked a poster as well with it, but you know, can't have it all. Right, the guide itself, it's sort of well made, I suppose. It's got a little forward for the from the producer and the director, which is brilliant. I don't know where it's printed. It doesn't actually say, but there's an Australian warranty statement, but I think that's just obviously if you get it from Australia, their warranty is a little bit different there. Now, I won't try and spoil the game too much, but one thing I will say is I do immediately think that the print is too small. It's in mouse print. I've got excellent eyesight, but even I sometimes sort of, well, no, I don't have to get a magnifying glass or anything, but you certainly do have to concentrate and try and read the text because it's so small. Especially if you're quite away from your telly and your eyes are focused on gaming, and then you come to this and then your eyes have to work sort of doubly hard. I don't think this is the right text. I think the next level, like you know, if it goes up in twos, the next level of text or even the text after would have been better. And what I mean by that is some of the areas you understand, you know, that's a lot of text there under that picture. And even if it made the book, you know, a third bigger, even if the book was sort of 450 pages or even 500, it would have been better for it, a bigger guide, if they couldn't fit it all on. But I think they should have at least printed a few pages and tested it at least with a few gamers and things to see if that was acceptable. I don't think it is acceptable. And some of the places, the text actually decreases in size. So here, I mean, I can barely read that from here, and I'm not that far away from it, whereas the text there is larger, and I still think this text is too small, so they actually decrease it in some areas. I mean, good luck reading all of that. It's just so difficult to sort of, you know, read, basically, at that size. And a lot of the time, you're getting pictures where there's sort of gaps, like huge gaps like that, which you could fit that there and put the picture down or do something. I will say the pictures are great. They're good resolution, and they sometimes show arrows of what you got to do, and you know, different sort of ways you've got to move things and where you've got to jump to and all the rest of it. So I do think that's great. I do think the maps are brilliant. You've got a nice list of optional challenges, and the text isn't too bad for the challenges too. I like the layout. So you've got your primer, which is your game structure, your commands, you display your navigation, combat, offense and defense. Cooking, it goes into cooking because if you played the game already, you'll know that there's no tutorial for cooking, which is a lot of things that gamers sort of screamed out about. I didn't even know you could cook. Until I sort of went on the internet and found out I had all these ingredients and things, but the game never really gives you a cooking sort of tutorial. I think it should have done, because it's a great little fun aspect of the game. But there you go. It talks about the weather and elements, and then it gives you the walkthrough. So it gives you like a step-by-step sort of guide as to how to complete the game. You got the prologue, and then it's a little bit spoiler, but you've got these divine beasts that you have to go and sort of deal with, and then getting the master sword, and then obviously dealing with Hyrule Castle and what's there. Then you've got these shrines. So the shrines are these little sort of dome type buildings or sort of structures dotted around the landscape. Some are hidden. You get this thing earlier on which sort of makes your controller vibrate if you're near one. It also makes a sound, and that sound is quite annoying. It's like an alarm or something, so I just switch that off, and I prefer just to, you know, find them when I can see them, if that makes sense. So you've got all the shrines, and then you've got the towers as well, and the towers sort of open up the areas of the map for you, and it gives you like walkthroughs for those. And then, yeah, so it goes through all the shrines, all the towers for the different areas. And then page sort of 200, you've then got side quests. So it's very detailed information about the towers, and it talks about each tower. And then side quests for all of the different regions. So there are different people you can meet, the different quests you can do with them. It's just fantastic. But like I say, sort of like the text, I mean, the text isn't too bad here. Pictures are gorgeous and they're very descriptive, but yeah, unfortunately the text just lets it down a little bit. The paper is lovely, I might add. I mean, you pay in premium for the hardback and the paper, and it just smells fantastic. Really does, smells just rich and of print. It's just lovely. And then you've got inventory. So you've got all the different clothing and things Link can put on, and all the different weapons, all the shields, the arrows, the bows, and then you've actually got all the food and ingredients, and then you've got the cooked food and the dishes and what they do. So that's really useful if you want to make a super amazing meal. Important items, so you've got you know, the different horses, different saddles, and then the bestiary. So you've got all the different enemies and the different types of enemies, and the different types of those enemies, all the monsters, and so on. And then bosses as well. And it gives you the different page for where the bosses are. Then extras. So you've got your Great Fairy Fountains, your sub bosses, your Korok seeds, all the mini games. So you can gamble in this game, and so on. And there's a couple of spoilers in there as well. So then you've got a compendium and secrets and Easter eggs, and then some nice little concept art of lovely Zelda on the back, and Mipha and Bosa and Rivali and Daruk, and some lovely sort of illustrations of the wildlife. There's a lot of wildlife. I thought, when I first thought, you know, big open world Zelda, I thought there wouldn't be much in it, but there's things all around you. It's fascinating how they do it with no loading screens. I mean, yeah, there's loading screens to get into the little shrines, but other than that, you just hit continue and the whole world is open to you. There's a mountain over there, climb it. It's just fantastic. So yeah, so you got all the enemies. And then finally you got your index, so you want to find out how to get the Master Sword, obviously look in there, find the page number. So fantastic book, just sort of let down by the font. If you can read small font, then it's amazing, but you're not going to be sort of reading this from cover to cover. You might get stuck, or you might get a bit bored and you want a quest to do, or you want to find out what else is in that region, and you'll probably read that and then you get back to gaming for a few hours. So in that respect, you know, going from the game to this every few hours isn't too bad, and it'll definitely enrich your experience and you'll get the most out of the game. Not that you're gonna complete the game in sort of a few hours by any means, but you know, for the completionists and people that just want to do everything in a Zelda game, this is definitely the guide for you, coupled with obviously some videos on the internet. So there you go. That is the end of my review of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild hardback guide. Thank you ever so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Zelda protects.